Taylor Swift famously wrote the lyrics, "Can I ask you a question?" While seemingly a simple query, it plays to the idea that we all have questions, some we never pose, and some we agonize over never being answered. Pop culture is overrun with gossip columnists, blind items, and paparazzi photos in this predatory society we live in. But what if you actually got to sit down with your favorite artist or athlete? What if you got to ask them all the questions you've always pondered? But here's the catch: you can't ask them questions that you've seen speculated on in social media. Instead, you get to ask them why. Why did they write that song? Why did they choose that part to audition for? Why did they sign with that team? Why did they write that book? Back in the day, MySpace was known as, quote, a place for friends. The Y Space show is instead a place where we get to really know each other, not just on the surface. Knowing why someone does something can literally change the trajectory of history. That being said, can I ask you a question?
All right, welcome to Y Space.
Hey guys.
So when you're listening to this on Tuesday, our bonus episode came out on Thursday.
Yes.
All the listener questions, and I still just can't even believe that happened.
I can't either. And we have to have so much happening.
I started to make the notes for this show, and I grabbed a few, and then I've started putting the other ones in the August question.
I know. I saw that you had started the August document, and I was like, we already have questions for that?
Well, and I'll be honest, thank you all that listened on Tuesday when episode 30 came out, because I got a slew of them, and I haven't even gone through them. But that does not mean you stop sending them. That means you're going to have a great August episode. So
yes. That's so good, guys. Thank you for sending those.
It's just a dream world for us. And while we're kicking off, let me go ahead and say thank you for your questions. Go follow us on the socials. Yes. TikTok, it's yspace.com. It's a whole thing. I'm trying to fix it. And Instagram's just yspace.com spelled out. But follow us there so you don't miss anything. But also it just helps us get in front of other people. So we would love it if you did that.
And by she means like Aaron Andrews, maybe Jason and Travis Kelce.
I'm just
anybody
saying
that we love.
Listen, you'll see on our socials we tag the people we talk about, and you know what, guys, we can see they look at it. So
which is so wild when you like take a screenshot and send it to me. I still am like, is that Photoshop? That can't be real.
But she knows I'm not talented enough for that. So
listen, we can't even do time zones. We for sure are not trying Photoshop.
That's a whole math thing waiting to happen. But we have a great episode today for episode 31, which I can't also believe that we have 31 episodes.
Right?
It's a whole dream world. We're going to do a little entertainment talk. We're going to, of course, have Taylor talk. We'll talk sports, Olympics, and we have got questions, and then our Y Factor. So let's kick it off with entertainment. All right. We've got a little game we're going to play. We're not really sure how it's going to work. If you've ever watched the show Family Feud, it's going to be a little bit like that. Yes. So I'm going to be Steve Harvey for Becca. I'm going to tell her the question. And then she's going to guess my top 10 of something, and then I'm going to guess her top 10. And we're going to just go back and forth. Right? Listen, we're on the fly here. She looks terrified if you're not. There is a look of terror happening right now. But I think we're just going to go back and forth. But the topic is, and we're not even entirely sure. We were given this topic by someone else, and we're not entirely sure we did it right. So the topic, however, is our top 10 pop culture stands. Which, first of all, the whole stand thing is a whole millennial movement that I wasn't ready for.
No. And I guess stand just means like the hill you're going to die on. Like, this is the thing I'm riding to the end.
Yeah. And I mean, like, okay, let's go ahead and establish like some ground rules here. We already know of our top 10, Taylor is on the top 10. So we know that Taylor Swift, I mean, I assume she's on your top 10.
Well, listen.
Okay, you gave me another weird bit. No, for the audio.
I just took it off because I was like, it's just a known.
Well, how did you come up with 10 other ones?
Because I don't know if I did it right.
Okay, So that's a solid point. We're not really sure what we're about to give you, but what we're going to give you is top 10 pop culture-esque things that we really enjoy right now. That's all I can say. I don't know.
Oh, right now?
What do you mean right now? Yeah, right now in the episode. Y'all.
Mandy, I think top 10 of pop culture of all time.
Oh, no, I meant, okay. Solid confusion here. No, I mean of all time, but I mean right now in the episode.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is off to a fantastic start.
This is amazing. If you are just listening to us on a podcast app, this is a hot mess. If you're on YouTube, you're probably having the time of your life.
Oh, God.
So here we are at 4 minutes into the episode. We're going to get started now. Now, are we going to guess each other's?
I mean, we can try.
Okay,
I don't think that's going to go well.
Okay, well, we'll start there. All right.
Okay.
So, Becca, go ahead and guess one of mine.
I'm going to guess one of yours is The Bleachers / Gracie Abrams. Can I do it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the fact that you did two, you got it on the second. Gracie Abrams, yes. The Bleachers would have been a great one too. I do love them. But yes, Gracie is on my list. I'm going to go for you. I'm going to say the Kelsey family.
I did not put them on my list.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to need you to think old school.
Okay. 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 So I ask a question. Okay. Is it a TV show? Do we have a TV show on the list?
Yeah, there's two.
Okay. Grey's Anatomy. What am I, dumb?
Yes.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Okay. Grey's Anatomy. And then I'm going to guess for your second one, I'm going to guess Saved by the Bell.
Oh, no, but that would have been a good one.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, come back to me on that one. Next one then.
Okay. For you, I'm going to go college football. Or should I be specific to SEC football?
Okay. I'm going to give you credit for this. I have College Game Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to give you credit for that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say NFL football.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at you.
All right. So
I'm going to go. Can I guess Taylor Swift? Is that on your list?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, because I didn't know we were leaving her off. I don't know that I could have come up with 10.
I just always assume she's the answer, so we don't have to put it. People just know.
Solid guess. Solid guess. Okay. Okay, I'm still thinking TV show though. Family Matters?
No, not quite that old.
All right, what is the TV show?
Friends.
Oh shoot. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. Next one for me.
I'm gonna go Gossip Girl.
Yep.
Yes.
Good call. Okay, perfect. Okay. I don't know if this is pop. This is where I'm going to stretch into that. I don't know if this is pop culture. I'm going to say the Olympics.
I didn't, but that's a good guess.
Okay. Is there something sports related?
No, it was just the football one was my sports.
Oh, okay. And I've already covered TV shows, and we know Taylor's. Oh, is it Dan and Shay?
No.
I do want to interrupt the game just to tell you something I saw yesterday on the internet, though. And your boy Shay Mooney.
Yes.
Guess who he's writing music with now in Nashville this week?
Who? Nick
Jonas.
Interesting.
And this is not a rumor. Nick Jonas posted it.
Didn't they just do The Voice together? Or am I making that up?
I don't follow Dan and Shay the way you do. Speaking of being a stan, how is that not on your list? I can't even.
I didn't think of it as pop culture.
Well, okay. This is where it gets even more confusing.
Listen, when you hear the rest of mine, that you're definitely not going to guess.
Okay, is it
how confused I was?
Okay, so I'm out of. Okay, there's no more sport. Okay, is it an event?
No.
Holy macaroni. Okay, can I get a hint?
London.
The royal family.
Yay!
Got it. All right. Perfect. All right. Next one for me. I'll give you a hint. Do you want a hint or are you good already?
Well, do you have specific people names?
Okay, I have a combination of two names as one item.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake
Yep.
Lively.
Yep. Okay. Do you have a name of a person?
There is one.
That's like
one
a human,
person
right?
and one group, one musical group.
NSYNC?
Nailed it. Look at you.
Woo! Yes. Okay. All right. What do you have for me? I do not have any more names of people, like individuals.
I'm trying to think. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
No.
Didn't you say you really like that one the
Let
other
me
week?
help you out here. Okay. No, that was startling.
Guys, for those of you not watching on YouTube, not only did Mandy not just say no, but there was an eye roll with the no. I just need that noted.
I mean, I like the movie, but not like I'm definitely not a stan, if you will. Okay, my hint that I have for you is it's one of my favorite teams.
Like soccer, women's soccer.
Yes, the
But it's
U.S.
the
Women's
team
National Team. Yep. I don't know if that's pop culture either, but I went ahead and put it on my list. Okay, for you. Okay, so we don't have any more events. We don't have any more people. We don't
No.
have any more.
Oh, there is one more person. Sorry.
Okay. Are they an athlete?
No, but think back like NSYNC time.
Justin Timberlake?
No.
Kelly Clarkson?
No, but real close to Justin Timberlake.
Oh my gosh. Is it a boy?
No.
Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Boom. Knew it.
Listen,
Okay.
I was a huge Britney Spears fan when she was big, probably because we were not allowed to listen to her. So that was like the.
Got it. What is your favorite Britney song?
I don't even have one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, my hint for you. Do you need another hint or you
Yeah, I'm gonna need some hints.
Need some hints now. Okay. This is an event that has happened, I think now around 125-ish times, and we have about 25 more of them to happen.
25 more to happen.
Ish. I don't know if that number's correct. It happens a couple days a week, usually. Right now it's happening in Europe.
Oh, I was going to say cry at our desk.
This is pop culture, not therapy. No.
In Europe.
And then it's going to come back to the U.S., but it was here.
Oh, the Olympics?
No.
Are the Olympics in Europe?
Well, they are. They're in Paris, but
Dude, this is going downhill real fast.
Okay. It has music.
It's a music festival.
With one of my people who you've already named.
Taylor. A music Coachella's not there.
Okay, note for the audio. It's the Eras Tour.
Oh!
Good God Almighty. Okay. All right. So on yours, do we have something music-wise? Another music thing?
No. We have a movie.
Okay.
A type of clothing.
Oh.
Type of hair product thing.
Oh.
And then a store that no longer exists.
Okay.
That's why I don't know if I did this.
We have to tell each other the last of them. Okay, what's next? Tell me the hair product. Is it Aussie hairspray? Because I feel like that was so big when we were younger.
Oh, but that would have been a good one.
Okay.
Remember the butterfly clips where you would like roll your hair? And
Okay.
Listen, I thought I looked good in those things.
Hey.
I'm so glad smartphones weren't a thing where people took so many pictures.
Can we get a picture from Mama Sheila of that, please?
I'm sure there is one.
I need
it.
If we get one, folks, I'm putting it on social media. Okay, I put red carpets. Just all of them. Just red carpets.
Oh, like red carpet events.
Yeah, not like in your house.
That's immediately what my brain went to.
No, okay. Next for you?
Blockbuster Video Store.
Oh my gosh, that's a great one.
You remember how fantastic Friday nights used to be because of Blockbuster?
Oh man, and the snacks at the checkout counter.
Yeah. And having to like, if a new movie came out, you had to like move the cover to see if there was a movie behind it, being so disappointed when they were all gone.
Yeah. Okay, I have a really random one, and I wish Aaron was still at home, but he just left. It's the Mario franchise. like as a kid, I loved playing like Super Mario, and then as an adult, I love playing Mario Kart. I mean, I haven't in a long
I
time,
love Mario Kart.
but yeah, that's what
I like that. Okay, that's a good one. Elf.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
God, I love that.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I have the Super Bowl.
Oh, good. That's a good one. My
All right.
last one is Skinny Jeans. And
Is
I'll die
what?
on Skinny Jeans.
Oh, okay.
I will die on that hill. I know that like right now it makes us look old because that's not the thing anymore, but I will die on the hill of skinny jeans. Listen, this is the first time in my life I can wear them and it doesn't look embarrassing. So I'm going to continue to wear them.
She's in. Wholly in. I like that one. Okay. This one, I don't know if this, like, I don't even know if this fits, but it's the whole like preppy movement.
Yes. Oh, that's a good, yeah.
Because I went to private school growing up, so we had to wear uniforms, always had the collared shirt on. And I think it just sent me on this trajectory. But I love it in pop culture too. Like
Yes.
when they're preppy in like, I can't think of one right now, but like preppy in TV shows, like that whole 90s kind of renaissance. Yeah. I love it.
It is fun to see some of that stuff come back.
Okay, that was super hard. That game was super hard. Really if you struggled through, we appreciate you.
If you're even still listening, yeah. Thanks.
Let's talk about a little Hollywood. Okay.
Yes.
So I came up with this question because it's something I've been thinking about. And we've sort of talked about this before when I've said, like, do we really have the actors and actresses like we had back in the day that are, you know, like iconic? Do we even really have that anymore? And so my question for you is, who do you think the most versatile actor and actress in Hollywood is today?
Okay, well, note that the word today was not in the notes.
Okay, so we're having this problem a lot today. It doesn't have to be today. In general.
Well, and I think this goes to prove your point because the people that I picked are older.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah. So I picked Christian Bale. If you think of all the things that he's done Batman. He had a part in Little Women. He's been in religious movies, but he fits the role every single time. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I mean, I really couldn't think of current day ones. Maybe Matt Damon. Maybe.
Even I consider him older too now.
Yeah, he's older.
That is an interesting one. Yeah, I didn't think of Christian Bale.
I also thought Glenn Close. She was the like Mama and Hillbilly Elegy, but then that was on Netflix. But she also did Fantastic and Cruella, where she was more like prim, proper, evil looking.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so I did try to think of current day, and man, I really couldn't come up with anything. But then this past weekend, I landed on something. Let me throw it out at you and see what you think.
Okay.
This weekend, we watched the movie If.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds movie, I love Ryan, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that I would even call Ryan versatile.
No.
He gives the same vibe, but there was somebody I never would have thought of until I watched this movie. John Krasinski.
Okay.
You know, he's been in some like war movies, which was kind of a
true.
Weird and in this movie, and you know, obviously he was in The Office and he's been in a lot of funny things. But in this movie, he's kind of got like a more serious role.
Yeah.
But he also is still funny. But it's definitely a different side of him. And so I was like, today, because I went through all the people in my head, I was thinking about Glenn Powell. I thought about Miles Teller.
Yeah.
None of them have that vibe at all.
Now, do you think if Ryan Reynolds was put into like a real serious role, do you think it would still translate and he would still be believable in that? We just don't get that experience as much.
I think he could do serious well, like an emotional kind of biopic type thing. I could totally see him doing that. What I can't see him doing is like a war movie.
That's true.
And so, because I was like, can I make Ryan Reynolds fit this conversation? As I always try to do.
That is always my goal.
It's my sticky wicket that I can't see him in an action movie. Like, I know you could argue Deadpool is action, but it's not like, I don't know, like Speed or Mission Impossible. Right. It's not like that. But yeah, I could definitely see him doing like an emotional something.
Yeah.
And so, of course, on the female side, of course, I tried to make Blake fit this, and I can't again.
No.
I can actually make her fit more than him, but I still can't. And so then I was really thinking through current people. I thought Margot Robbie for a little bit, but then I was like, I don't know. So I kind of teetered on that. But I went with Emma Stone, and I'm still not super happy with my choice, though I love Emma Stone. But I do think like she can play serious emotional well. She can play funny well.
Yes.
But again, like, can I see her in some action-packed thriller? I don't know. But I think I could more than I could like a Margot Robbie.
I could agree. Oh, for sure.
And then like I could like Sydney Sweeney. She doesn't blow my soul. I'm not on the train with her.
Yeah, I always get the vibe like this is her time to shine. Enjoy it. I don't think she's a long hauler. I could be totally wrong, but
I mean, she's fine, but it's just I don't know. I don't see it. All right. So next up in the entertainment, and it will help us segue into, of course, our Taylor talk. Obviously, the Eras Tour has been all the rage for over a year now. Of course, you couldn't think of it for my top 10, which is startling. But I was thinking about this the other day. The Eras Tour is going to end. She said herself that it's going to end in December. Of course, everyone's convinced she's going to add shows between now and then. I don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
We've got football season, people. We ain't got time for this.
We're busy.
But I wondered, because I keep seeing, and I've not been like buying tickets to other shows lately. Now, I will say I have been looking at tickets for Gracie, of course, because she's coming to Kansas City, but they sold out in like 3 minutes. So
I'm sure.
Waiting for resale on that. I've seen Sabrina Carpenter is having the same issues on Ticketmaster that Taylor had, scalpers, and it sold quick. But who do you think is going to be, either person or group, will be the next Eras-esque hype kind of tour?
This one was tough for me because even if you're not a Taylor fan, you have to admit that her concerts themselves are in a completely different stratosphere than what a typical concert would be. Even if you have like Drake, who has these huge prop pieces that he brings out in his concerts and stuff, it's not as engaging as what a Taylor Swift concert is. Mm-hmm. And I think part of that's her music. There's so much of it. But part of it is I don't necessarily know that there's anybody else in the game that puts in as much effort and work personally into what her shows look like. I think they probably more rely on a team. And so you're not getting something that's super curated to them. Mm-hmm. My only thing that I could think of is maybe Harry Styles could pull something off. But even at that, it's never going to be to the level of.
Yeah. And I think I think, his tour kind of ended right when the Eras Tour was kicking off. And it set a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed with Harry, and this could be ignorant on my part, but it feels like he's more popular in Europe. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like he's super popular in the US.
Right.
But I don't know, maybe it's just because he is British, but I feel like, it's funny because it was the same argument people had. They used to say that Taylor wasn't popular internationally. Well,
right.
I believe
obviously that's not
I think we clarified that's probably not accurate.
Yeah.
She's in all these cities in Germany I can't even say the names of. But I don't know. I really struggled with this, even though I'm the one that came up with the question. There's all these rumors that NSYNC is going to tour together again.
Yeah, and it's been going for a while, though.
I know. And of course, all these crazy loons on the internet are, it's for sure happening. And especially I don't know if you saw this week at the Deadpool Wolverine premiere, they were all there other than Justin.
Oh, I did not see that.
They kind of do everything together. So I didn't think that was.
They're doing things together. Justin's just not with them because he's doing his own tour right now.
Yeah. And honestly, probably a year ago, I would have said Justin, but it hasn't really turned out that way. I'm going to see him in December and I'm happy about it, but it's
I think he probably puts on a really good show.
Yeah.
But it's not like,
So in my mind, I was like, well, listen, our age range, we will get hyped for an NSYNC tour. Like, let's not act like that wouldn't happen. I just don't know that I could see him doing it. Obviously Sabrina she's kind of hit a fever pitch right now and she's selling out like crazy, but she's not doing a lot of US shows.
Yeah.
And so again, I don't think that equals the Taylor level. So I couldn't really come up with anything.
Yeah. I just, again, it's hard to compare her and her concerts to literally anything else.
The only thing I came up with, and I don't even know if this is really going to happen, but there's been all these rumors that Beyonce is going to do a residency in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if that were to happen, she could sell that out for a good long while.
Absolutely.
So I
think it would be a good spot for her too. Like she would be a perfect artist to do a residency.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I could come up with. I don't even see if she was to tour again, because we thought she was about to tour again with Cowboy Carter, even though she just got off her tour. I don't even see her, if she did another international tour, that it would get up to this Taylor level either right now.
I don't know that we'll ever see another tour that gets to this level.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think that's one of the reasons it needs to end. Not that I want it to end, but also I just think once you kind of hit a certain level, like what more can you do?
Right. You got to end it before it's not special anymore.
Yeah. All right. That leads us into Taylor talk of the day. Obviously, we've kind of mentioned her a little bit. Let's see. We've been in Germany, in a G word city that I can't really pronounce. When we recorded last week, we were able to talk about night 1, but night 2 was our last Eras Tour show with Travis. And it makes me so sad because just he
looked so sad.
He really did. Now, there were a lot of things apparently that happened in a security situation. Sounds like that someone was arrested that was threatening him and Taylor. And so I did wonder if maybe that's why he was up in the suite for both of those shows, as opposed to the floor. Again, mark it on the tracker. People are stupid. But I did wonder if it had to do with that. But yeah, he looked really sad. And she honestly, I thought the vibe was a little different. But
it was, and I'm sure it was one of those, they both realized, we've been had this incredible summer together, and now you've got to go back to work.
Well, and I just think the moments that we don't get when he's not there are special. Like Karma's the guy on the Chiefs, them walking off the stage together. On the day that we're recording this, I don't know if you know this, it is 1 year to the day that on New Heights, he talked about how he made her a bracelet and she wouldn't meet him.
Is that today?
Today. And what a wild ride we have been on.
Oh my goodness.
It's so weird that it's only a year ago. It feels like they've always been together.
Yeah. But I remember that episode. I remember him talking about that. And we were like, oh, haha, funny. That's cute. Yeah. And then every single day it progressively got a bigger and bigger situation. And we were like, wait, is this actually a thing?
Well, and it's crazy to kind of know more of the timeline now from both of them and different stuff that they've put out, that essentially at that episode, she had already contacted him.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Can you imagine how 2022, ending of 2022, 2023 was a big year for Travis. That was a huge thing. And then we got so much in 2023 from them. And you thought, how are you going to top 2022? And then you top it with 2023. And now we get 2024 is even better. At some point, we know this is going to taper off. But man, what they're giving us has been fantastic.
It makes me so excited about a future potential for them, but then also so scared. I just need it to last.
Right. Here's where my concern is.
Oh, no.
She is going to finish her tour.
Yep.
She's probably going to spend a few years writing, being domestic, enjoying life. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get him at New Heights and football and stuff, but it's just not going to be the same. Right now, every week we can talk about Taylor and what she's doing.
I know.
If she goes into hiding, what are we going to do?
Oh, geez.
That stalker. That's not helpful.
Folks, if you only come for Taylor talk, we'll find something. There's a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I don't know what's next. I do truly think that she will work on her movie, her screenplay and all of that. I think all that's been in the works anyway. So that's my theory, is that's what's next. Allegedly, there's already, talks of the 2026 tour. Timing wise, that does make sense for Taylor. She's usually every 2 years, of course, COVID, and then Kanye fiasco, like kind of changed a bit of the timeline, but it typically is every 2 years. The thing that I wonder the most, though, is because she has put out so much music with all the re-records, getting them out, just TS11 coming straight up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Even Midnights wasn't that long ago now. The turnaround for TS12 to be essentially like next year sometime, and we still have 2 more re-records to come out. I mean, listen, from a business perspective, strike while the iron's hot.
Absolutely.
But if she does, I mean, she would have to align it. I mean, in theory, she would need to align it with a tour. And so I guess that we're going to talk about this later. I just remembered that it's actually one of the questions, which is a great question, but we'll talk about that more in the question section. But I don't know. It's been so amazing. But even I'm going to go to the New Orleans show with some college friends. I still have that code for London, and I can't let it go yet. Even though people are willing to pay just for the code, which doesn't even ensure that you get a ticket.
That's crazy.
But I don't know. Even when I've like kind of tuned into some of the live streams lately, I try to always catch the surprise songs. But it just feels like it's almost sad now because it's like, it really is going to be over, and like, this whole era literally is going to be over.
Yes. And I don't think, well, I'll get into it later. I was going to say something.
I know it ties to another thing, but so night 2 in Gelsenkirchen, I think is how you say it.
I think you nailed that.
That was real good. I just want to say, let's see, on the guitar, she did Speak Now and Hey Stephen. I'm not truly a fan of either song. So
yeah,
nothing for me there. And then on the piano, she did This Is Me Trying and the Labyrinth. So it was interesting that she played those 2 because those were the 2 songs that she played in Singapore night. I think it was 5, which we got the really cool pictures of she and Travis on a date that night in that absolutely gorgeous garden center area that some people speculate maybe they got engaged that night. I don't know that I think that happened, but it's awfully odd that she played the same exact songs because nothing is accidental. So that was night 2, and we had our last walking off of the stage.
We did.
Then night 3, and she always seems to do this in the show right after he leaves. She always hammers home, hey, we're in it to win it here. And she played Paper Rings and Stay, Stay, Stay. She always does one that has something to do like come back, be here, stay, which I think is cute. Yep. Paper Rings was definitely an intriguing choice with all the rumors.
And we had talked on a previous episode. That was one that I wanted her to do as the surprise. So
I thought that was really good. And then it's interesting how she's taking these songs, and it kind of, every show's different because God only knows what's happening in her brain. But it seems like when she does 2 songs that are heavy Travis, she'll also do 2 that are very still on the rage and the anger from either Joe or Maddie or whomever. Because then she followed it up on piano with It's Time to Go and Better Man. Listen, Better Man I don't think it gets the credit it deserves. The writing in that song is just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It really is. And that on the piano was amazing. Then she went to Hamburg in Germany. Night 1 this week, she did Teardrops on My Guitar and The Last Time. So, of course, all the Twitter folks were like, oh, debut's coming right now. Didn't happen. And then she did We Were Happy and Happiness. God, if she ever does a tell-all, which she never would, or a documentary, the thought process behind these surprise songs, I need to know.
Yes.
I need to know.
I'm still really hoping we get a TTPD or an Eras Tour documentary.
Well, the problem is I need both.
True. You could do a double feature.
Well, of course, because the 2s are 2ing, right? Oh my gosh, what if that just hit me that maybe that is that. Okay, anyway. Then night 2, she did Last Great American Dynasty on the guitar. She's removed it from the set. Yes. It was so cool to hear it that way, though. She mixed it with Run, which was an interesting choice, but it really worked. And then she did Nothing New and Dear Reader. Very interesting combinations. There's so much to that. But I think that's why I love her too. Not only is her writing is just out of this world, But the mind games that you can go down with,
Seriously.
it's really entertaining. But also yesterday, well, yeah. Yesterday in Hamburg was the 4-year anniversary or birthday of Folklore.
Yep.
Which I have always said is one of my favorite albums. And then I came up with this question for us and I struggled. So I was going to talk about what are your favorite songs and do you have any skips from Folklore? Do you want me to go? Because I know that you did not see this question originally.
I mean, you can.
Okay. So I've got some commentary on this, obviously. So Folklore, when I saw the Eras Tour both times, was a big part of the show. And it was its own separate entity away from Evermore. It's not that way now. Now Folklore and Evermore are combined and it's a much smaller set. Just a whole different vibe, which is weird because from like a stage perspective, the Folklore cabin has to be an astronomical part of the entire production budget. And they've kind of condensed it. So whatever. So some of the songs, when I go look at the song list, I'm like, oh, but I love what they did during Last Great American Dynasty on the Eras Tour. But like, if I'm in my car, I'm not probably going to listen to it.
Right.
So I had some of those thoughts. And then we have talked about this on here before. Cardigan. It is so popular. People are obsessed with that song. It's in her like top 5 streams ever. I'm not a fan. I wouldn't say it's a skip because honestly, I don't really skip any of her songs, but it's like, I don't get it.
It's not what you're specifically going to look up to listen to.
Yeah. But some of the ones that I really like, I love The One, which is funny because you forgot what that even was. Also anything with Bon Iver, the Exile song.
Yes.
And it's always one of my favorites when she does it on the Eras Tour on surprise songs because the way the audience echoes with her is just amazing. And then we talked about this one in one of our last episodes. Mad Woman is my angry song. And but what I was going to say about Folklore, everybody always talks about how they think Taylor hates Evermore, which is a whole thing that I don't really get. But to me, they're almost the same album. And so when I went and looked at the song titles, I was like, oh, like a lot of songs I thought that I loved from Folklore, they're on Evermore. So there's that. But what I was thinking is the other thing I wanted to point out, there's a couple of songs on here, like the song 7.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even really tell you any feelings I have about it. But even when I have that thought about her songs, then I go read the lyrics, I'm blown away.
Yeah. All of them.
I don't think you can say that about anybody else.
No.
Even Dan and Shay.
Listen, let's not do this right now.
All right, so those are my thoughts. So happy birthday, Folklore. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I thought Folklore and Evermore were like released almost like a double-sided album. I thought they were released right together. I did not realize that they
were really close together in time.
I guess I've just always assumed they're the
same. But it wasn't a double drop. No.
Yeah. I'm not even saying double drop. I'm just saying like, record.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you didn't have to flip your cassette tape over. That didn't happen.
So I've always assumed that. There's not a lot of songs on either of those that I'm specifically like pulling up on my Spotify or anything to listen to. Mm-hmm. I do like Mad Woman. I like Exile. Those I tend to remember those names, or not Exile. The Last Great American Dynasty.
Yeah.
I do tend to like listen to those more if I'm going to flip through. But honestly, the rest of these, I think I was telling you, like, I didn't even recognize half the songs on here. I probably would like know that I had heard them, but Peace, Hoax, some of those, August 7, I wouldn't have, you could have said that and said, who sings this song? It's a famous song, and I would never have picked Taylor.
I want to go on the record for saying something because, as I told you earlier, I'm mad that I didn't go on the record about something from the new Deadpool movie. But I want to be on the record for saying that I think if Taylor writes a Broadway show, that it will be The Last Great American Dynasty.
You have said that multiple times.
Okay, good. Keep it on the record, people.
Yeah.
When it happens, I'm going to be famous. So that's our Taylor Talk for the day. So if you're not a fan of that segment, welcome to sports. Welcome
back, Laura.
All right, Laura, welcome back to the show. So this past week, we had the WNBA game, All-Star game.
So good. It was so good.
All-Stars versus Team USA, which, was that the first time we've done it that way?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I am pretty sure I heard them saying that's how it was done at least last year as well.
Oh, well, news to me. But we're new to the WNBA. So it was so fantastic. I loved every second of it. I also loved, the game aside, I loved how they would, like, when they would sub a player out, they would, like, interview that person when they sat down on the bench. I thought that was cool.
Yes.
To kind of get perspective in the middle of the game. Apparently, a few people watched it.
Just a few.
Yeah. There was a 300% increase from last year.
Is that not wild?
I think it's because of us, because we've been saying watch women's sports. You're welcome.
We've given free advertisement for them. So
yeah. Not anymore though. You're gonna have to pay us going forward. Look what we've done.
By pay us, we just mean like fly us to games.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Or maybe not have to buy a streaming service to watch them all. So there's that. There were some kind of dynamics that I was interested to see transpire. Obviously, we've talked about it before, the Diana Taurasi commentary with Caitlin Clark. You can tell that DT is like trying to downplay that now, because now she's real huggy with Caitlin, and like
we're trying to backpedal some.
Yeah. So I guess in her old age, the wisdom is settling in. I was interested to see that. I was obviously interested to get a look at Team USA because the Olympics are here. It's happening. And I feel confident about Team USA women's basketball, so I was wanting to see it. I'll be honest, it didn't blow my skirt up.
Nope. I thought you were going to say you were like confident after watching it, and I was like, I'm not.
I'm already worried about the Canadian game. I can tell you right now. They didn't, and I don't know, but the thing is, I wonder this because I've thought about this with the NFL. Are they really trying, or are they trying not to get hurt?
See, potentially that could be. Here's the thing. I don't like the coach for the women's team.
Me either.
Sister has like a chip on her shoulder about something, and she needed to take several seats.
Yeah.
But I think it's like they picked all of the old players with a name. Mm-hmm. My God, we got to get some young knees in there. Like, we need some spry, good shooters.
Now, I'm going to say something. Okay, is it Erica Ogunbowale?
Yes.
Okay, that was pretty good, I must say.
Very good.
So, girl went off. Like, was freaking amazing. And we were texting and we were like, how is she not on Team USA? And I don't know all the details. I only know what I sent you. It appears that she pulled her name out of contention for it because she said it was too political, which there was part of me that was like, you know what? I kind of can respect that. But then I was also like, the patriotic side of me was like, but it's for your country. Like,
yeah. But I think I read one article that they have to go to like extra camps and clinics and things like that for them to watch you. Can't you watch their film? Can't you watch their current games? So that seemed excessive.
Yeah. She was freaking amazing. But one of the things Holly Rowe posted on Twitter, X, whatever we call it, she was talking about the connection between A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart. I didn't even notice it, I guess, partially because I was so concerned. But they apparently combined for 53 points. So I am excited to see that in the Olympics. I mean, anything A'ja Wilson, we're in. I'm weird about Breanna Stewart. I don't know. I
don't know how I feel about that. Yeah.
So I don't know. I was hoping it was going to make me even more confident about the Olympics. I didn't get there, but I loved it. It was fantastic.
It was such a fun game to watch. I think I even tweeted we came for Caitlin Clark, but we were staying for that Erica Ogunbowale.
Oh, there you go.
It was such a fun watch. But I also think they weren't, and I don't want to say they weren't as competitive, but they were much more laid back in their personality and stuff out on the court. And so it was fun to watch them just have fun playing the game.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I've enjoyed seeing with the WNBA, and especially even at the All-Star game, is kind of like I don't know that they are friends, but like kind of the vibe of friendship between a lot of them. And like when they interviewed Caitlin on the bench, they said, "Hey, you're about to break the assist record." And she was like, "Oh, who has it?" And they said, Sue Bird, who's, retired now, but was one of the best of all time. And she was like, "Oh, she's been talking crap the whole game. I'm breaking." She didn't end up, she missed it by one, but she did set the rookie record. But just like that whole, it's good to see the veterans and the people that have retired that are kind of embracing people like Caitlin and Kate Martin and all of that.
Right.
Angel Reese, I know we go back and forth, but she was the first rookie to drop a double-double in the game. And so you can't argue with her basketball game. It's the rest of it that I can argue with. But it was fantastic.
It was really good.
In other sports news, we had a big week in Kansas City.
Huge week.
Kind of. It's really in St. Joe, Missouri. But the Chiefs reported to camp.
They did.
El Travador made his appearance.
Stash is back.
It's thick this year. Very thick.
It's thick this year.
And the hair, how are you feeling about the hair?
Listen, we all know I can't do the hair when he doesn't fix it. And he does not. Even when he goes to the Eras tour and he's dressed in nice, he doesn't fix his hair. And I don't get it. It frustrates me.
I think the helmet's not helping. Also, speaking of helmets, I've noticed in all the pictures and footage, every team is wearing the Guardian caps on top of the helmets.
But I feel like they always have during training camp.
Did I miss that? So, but one thing I did see was I think it was the Chargers. They've got, so at least with the Chiefs, I haven't noticed everyone's, but with the Chiefs Guardian helmets, it's just kind of the red spongy look. But I think it was the Chargers. It looks like they've almost got what looks like a swim cap over theirs that has their bolt on it. So it almost looks like the helmet, but not really. And I saw some discussion today that was saying that was what the NFL was trying out for, like potentially making them required in the games. And so then if they had the like swimmer's cap over it, it looks like their helmet.
Oh, did we lose you?
I don't know what's happening. Man down, man down. Are you there?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Let me write it down. 46.
I'm here.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Shoot.
Can you hear me?
Okay, so the last thing I heard was that the Chargers had that over and the NFL was trying that out for something, potentially. Are they trying that out for like in season?
Well, that's what that's what they were saying because, like, again, I haven't noticed the other teams, but like with the Chiefs, it's just red. And so like,
Right.
when you're in the game and they have the helmets on, they've got the KC or the Arrowhead. And so I'm guessing that they're looking at these, I just keep calling them, they look like swimmer's caps over them.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the bolt or the emblem. So I guess that like this could really happen. And I'm all about protecting them if this is,
Right.
Legit.
Right.
But we can't do something to make it look a little less like a cartoon.
Yeah. I feel like it's not going to be super noticeable if like the offense and defensive line does that. And listen, their heads are banging every play. So
Yeah.
I'm okay if they want to wear the Guardian cap. But if you're putting it on like your running backs and your receivers and that kind of thing, I think we got to make it look a little nicer.
I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but there is a weird look with Patrick Mahomes' helmet, especially in his forehead region. It always looks like it sets very high off of his head. And now we're going to put something else on top of it. I mean, he's going to look like he's literally in a Pixar movie.
I feel like it's going to make him look like he's about, when it's like top heavy and they like fall back.
Yeah. Well,
That's
so
what
it's
he's
funny that you say that. I got to thinking the other day, I would assume it makes it heavier. Is that not more dangerous on your neck and stuff?
You would think, and how fast you've got to turn your head.
I don't know. So anyway, those have made
throw out our back just sneezing. So I would imagine if you added weight.
The good news for them is none of them have had a baby. So there's that. Some other news from the Chiefs training camp. There was a little bit of a tussle yesterday.
There was.
If you remember last training camp, last year, Trav got himself in a couple of scuffles, like throwing some blows. But yesterday, and the Twitter hards went nuts on this, and y'all
They
are,
always do.
again, people are stupid. But they were not in pads. Kadarius Toney made a catch. And, Kadarius, like, what are we going to do with him? I don't know. It sounds like they're giving him a lot of reps at running back. I mean, he's fast as lightning, so maybe that'll be better than trying to catch the ball. But he was, he did catch the ball out in the flank, and George Karlaftis, again, he's such a super nice guy. So this was definitely, in my opinion, not intentional, but just competitive. He knocked the mess out of him, and he flew backwards.
It looked intentional, though.
Well, so I don't know. And then, Kadarius got up and threw the ball at the back of Karlaftis. Well, Trav wasn't even in on the play.
No, he wasn't even close.
Yeah, he came in and got very much in Georgia's face. I love that part of Trav. So all you people that are like real worked up and y'all keep thinking you need to warn Taylor on Twitter, first of all, y'all are stupid. Like, that's one of the things that makes Trav so good. Like,
and it's sports.
Like, yeah, I just thought it was stupid. But yeah, I did wonder, it did look real chippy, but I don't know. So I don't know if Kadarius is the thing that I had forgotten about is some of these guys may not make the roster.
That's true. And also we have to remember that they're sleeping in college dorms.
Yes.
They're mad. Listen, they're sweating. They're tired.
Travis is used to being in a palace with the queen of the world. He's not used to being in a twin size in a dorm in St. Joe, Missouri. Like, not. I don't know. Some interesting notes that I have read from different people who have been at training camp. McCole Hardman is really struggling with throws from Patrick, but not from Carson Wentz. So I'm not sure what that equates to.
Yeah.
McCole just got re-signed, but I guess apparently that means he doesn't necessarily make the roster. I think he will. I tell you who I don't think is going to make the roster, and I ain't sad about it, is Sky Moore.
Yep.
He looks pretty awful. Kadarius has taken a lot of reps at running back, which means, he would be second, third, behind Isaiah Pacheco. Maybe, again, he is fast as lightning.
He is.
I'm super anxious to find out if the guy from Wales makes the team.
I am too.
I think he's going to.
I think so. It looked also like Xavier Worthy is full practice.
He is, but then he got sick.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Allegedly. So I don't know. Now there are 2 bad notes of injuries. Justin Reed is hurt. And I thought it was like not a big deal.
Oh, no.
But the girls from Kingdom Queens who have been at training camp said what they're hearing is it ain't good.
That's not great.
That's not where we really needed that to happen.
No.
Nobody's saying what it is, but they're just saying it's not good. And I think from what I'm gathering, it has something to do with the hamstring area.
Yikes.
And then Justin Watson went down yesterday and had to be carted off with an ankle injury. But, the thing about those freaking ankles, you can twist your ankle and it's worse than breaking it.
Yes.
And could still require surgery. So I don't know. And again, he's a, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in that kind of line of the wide receiver. So I don't know that that's as detrimental as something with Justin, but I don't know. Yeah. So tomorrow, when we're recording this on Friday, the next day they go to pads and it's about 105, not really, but it's hot. And I just can't even fathom.
No.
We were supposed to go to training camp tomorrow. We still have tickets. Judd's got a football tournament this weekend, so I don't know what we're going to do. I got rid of our Sunday tickets, but we are definitely going August 4th too. So we may go tomorrow, so I may have an update. Don't know yet. Have you seen any other news about training camp?
Not specifically them, I don't think. Really nothing. There's quite a few players that we're starting to hear about sitting out of training camps because of contract negotiations, which is wild to me. If this is a common thing, couldn't you write in there? Because here's the thing. They're not in contract talks for this current football season. It's for
long term. Yeah.
So why are you not practicing and getting ready for this season that you are contracted to play? It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And also you sitting out, what does that do? Shouldn't you have an agent that's in all those meetings? So it's not like you're actually doing anything. They don't need you sitting there talking to them. But it's like CeeDee Lamb, I think Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams.
Well,
another big name.
This was the interesting thing I saw about the Brandon Ayuk situation. He showed up to camp yesterday in a T-shirt and shorts and tennis shoes. so he doesn't have to get fined.
Listen, I like being fiscally responsible. So
you probably have that in a spreadsheet. Show up with clothes.
Right.
My dogs may bark for a second, but yeah, I've seen that. Luckily, so far, we've not heard about a lot of significant injuries. Hopefully for these teams, even the teams we don't like, hopefully that stays the same.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see. A lot of teams, I kind of just assumed that everybody reported like at the same time, but they don't. It's like
it's a little staggered.
Yeah. I'd be in there as fast as I could if I was these coaches wanting to get new offenses and defensive schemes in.
Yeah. Let them get in there. Yep.
Let's talk about the rookies. Speaking of money, what's going on with our friend Caleb Williams?
Listen, so I guess I assumed once you got drafted, it was like a set dollar amount because of whatever number you got drafted in line with. And so you just signed that contract. I didn't realize that rookies can go in there and do some negotiations and things. Mm-hmm. Apparently you can. So we did have some reports out this week or last week of Mr. Caleb Williams with the Chicago Bears, potentially things that he had asked for. One of the things that we for sure know he asked for was that if his salary could be paid to him through an LLC as a forgivable loan so that he did not have to pay taxes on it. And listen, I am here for someone trying to get all their dollars and not pay taxes because it's a lot that you're paying taxes on. However, I feel like if we're trying to skirt around taxes this much, that's going to make you look a little shady to the IRS.
And how has no one else ever thought to do that?
Right. Who's in your corner saying, this is the thing we asked for? I feel like you're not getting good financial advice, my guy. A couple of other things that were like rumors were that he had asked for like his nail person to be on the roster.
I'm sorry, what?
As like a coach title so that they could come to all of the games and be on the sidelines with them.
You are playing.
I'm not. I don't know if that's like verified that he had a couple of crazy requests. So the GM, Ryan Poles, came out and was stating, it's not unusual for rookies to ask for these, off the cuff things. And I'm like, I feel like that's unusual. Asking to be paid a different way so that you don't get taxes. Like even Shohei Ohtani is like not getting paid for so many years because he doesn't want to pay California taxes. That makes sense. But when you're asking for like, let's go through an LLC, let's do a forgivable loan, like all of these things, I need Caleb to have some better people in his corner. And by better, I just mean people that know what they're doing.
But I think that's been the ongoing issue with him. And of course, we've talked about this before. Is it really him? Is it the people around him? Is it it's rumored it's his dad? But I just have to think like, I guess I'm just the type of personality. If I walk into a situation, I want to fly under the radar until I prove myself. I want my actions to prove it and not my words. And if I'm coming in as an NFL rookie and I'm like, hey, I need the guy that paints my nails, even though I'm a man, to be on the roster so he can be at all the stuff, I'm not feeling good about myself.
But here's my thought. What do you think your nail person's going to do? Like, are you going to have your own medical tent if you chip a nail and they're going to fix it real quick? What are we thinking here?
I just can't even. I'm still taken aback by this one.
Listen,
that is.
But here's the thing. It's not crazy because it's coming from him. So you're like, that feels like a request you would have. Anyone else, we'd be like, are they CTE? Is that what we're thinking?
God, it sounds.
For Caleb, I'm like, that feels like you.
Yeah, that is rough.
He also had requested something for his mom. Again, this is alleged. Obviously, the Bears are not confirming any of this, but for his mom to be given a job from the Bears to be the counselor for the team so that he could go to her on the sidelines throughout the game.
Are you being serious?
This was literally
do you remember back during college season?
Yes.
He got emotional after that one game and like jumped in the stands into her lap like a baby.
Listen, if my kid is playing competitive football, I get if you have a bad game, my guy, take it to the locker room. If you win, and you're excited and you want to love on your family and to celebrate, I get that. But the way that he handled the situation, it just was odd. So it feels like an odd parent-child relationship. So much the fact that you are going into the NFL. This is your big boy job. We can't. Are we raising children that still need us to that extent?
That's not just needing. That's like.
It's an unhealthy relationship. We need, yeah. That was the other one that I was like, again, it feels normal as a request for him. Because they were saying if she's the team counselor, literally none of these other grown men are going to her for anything.
Do you think that we are prepared as a country for his game day fashion?
No. And here's the thing. We get people like Joe Burrow who come out. You never know what that man is coming in game day fashion. But it's not like one of those like, oh my gosh, what is he wearing? I feel like Caleb is going to take it to a whole other level. It's going to be weird. Not wild. Yeah. It's going to be weird.
Yeah. But the good news is that the NFL is about to start.
Yes. We're so close.
It's like I can almost taste it. And also, if you're watching YouTube, my husband brought me an ice cream sundae. I can't let it melt, so I'm eating it right now too. I had a question for you because I was thinking about this last week. We talk about women's sports. One of the other entities in sports in the female capacity is commentators.
Yes.
They don't get paid the same. Of course not, because the athletes don't either. They don't even get the same accommodations. I saw where Holly Rowe, she travels everywhere commercial, whereas Kirk Herbstreit and his dog fly privately.
Yeah.
So I'm not happy about that, but I wanted to bring attention to it. But I wanted to know, who are your top 5 commentators?
So top 5, Holly Rowe was on my list. She's just a classic staple. She's so good. Erin Andrews, obviously one of the good ones. I love Kirk Herbstreit. I like him in college. Greg Olson's a fun one. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick, who does Amazon's Thursday nights. I enjoy his back and forth banter, and I feel like he asks really good questions to any of the players that they interview or gives really good insight. He used to be a quarterback for multiple teams, and he's insanely intelligent. But he's a really fun one to listen to as well.
Yeah. I had Holly and Aaron as well, and Herbstreit. I had Chris Fowler.
Oh, that's a good one too.
I have always preferred him to Reese Davis.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got that note that I had. Now, this is not an NFL as much commentator, but Jim Nantz.
Okay. Yeah.
I do love him. But then the other one, now this, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a spicy take on the sport or on the football front.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Buck.
Really?
I knew it. I knew that was the look I was going to get.
Listen, from being from St. Louis, the Buck family is just,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's not bad. He is like a Tony Romo or Troy Aikman to me. You're just talking because you're really impressed by yourself. Is it?
I feel like Tony Romo? Come on. I know it was a spicy take, but that just feels insulting to anyone.
That's fair. That might have been a bridge too far. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Joe Buck tries to commentate, but he has no actual experience or expertise. So it's like you're just spouting what I've already Googled.
Okay. Well, then I'll just stick with Jim Nantz. It's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
It's fine. Okay. When we talk about commentators, the Olympics.
Coming on up.
I mean, we have got fantastic commentators this year, but talk to me about the opening ceremonies. What are you looking forward to?
Okay. So this is definitely going to be a very different opening ceremony than what we are accustomed to. So this is the first time in Summer Olympic history that the opening ceremony will take place outside of an arena. So typically we're used to the athletes in each country walking in, they walk around the arena, and then they go start to fill the stands. This year, they're going to be on boats going down the river scene. So each country has its own boat, and there's going to be cameras on the boats so that you get more up close and personal footage as well. I feel like that could go south real quick.
What if you get seasick?
That's what I'm saying. We might see some things that they're going to have to like cut off real quick. But also, how fast are these boats going? Because that's a lot of countries. And even the walking is typically a little bit faster than some of these boats. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get through.
How did I miss that memo?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like I'm not even a good
Yeah. So the boats go down the river scene, and then they do end up, there's going to be like a opening ceremony, like actual show type thing. So I always enjoy watching the different countries come in because a lot of times I'm like, I've never heard of that country before. Or seeing some of the outfits. I love the cultural outfits. The Tonga always has good ones.
Yes.
Mongolia, we've seen pictures of their outfits, and they are very impressive looking. The U.S., we typically look like flight attendants with poor fitting choices. Like we're not typically good on that.
So how does this work from the perspective of you're the flag waver? Like ours is LeBron and Coco Gauff.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to wave it off the side of the boat?
My guess is they're going to stand at the front of the boat.
On the bow?
I wonder if there's like a little tugboat or something in front that's smaller that just has
tugboat. Oh my God.
Oh no.
What if somebody hits something?
Listen, this could be real good TV. We don't know. Also, one of the things that I had read was this ceremony is open to as many people as possible. Okay. There are going to be 80 massive screens placed around so that people can hear it, can see it, but also like you just come up and start lining the river scene. I guess you don't have to buy tickets for it. So it's outdoors. We're not in an arena, so there's not like a set amount for, the fire marshal. So I'm going to be interested to see how well they thought that out. Because what if you just
I'm also now concerned I'm concerned from a safety and security perspective.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't super thought out, but there's always like a show. After all the athletes come in, there's always some kind of like a show that they put on, whether like dancing, something cultural to where the Olympics are being held. So I would assume at some point the opening ceremony moves to some kind of indoor place. Maybe not. Maybe it's all outside. I don't know. But we do have rumors of some musical artists that could potentially be there.
I know. What are your thoughts on that?
At first, I think it's interesting because typically whatever country has the Olympics, you get an artist that is famous because of that country, like to them. So right now it's rumored Celine Dion is going to make her appearance. Yeah. And it's rumored that Lady Gaga is also going to be doing something. So they're both in Paris right now. There have been pictures of them being there. I think it's an odd choice because, Celine Dion's from Canada. Like she's not known from.
But
Paris.
In Canada, they're French provinces.
I guess, well, then that would make sense. But what about Lady Gaga?
Well, where is she?
New York. New York?
Well, we got nothing on that then. Because I was like, well, maybe she's Canadian and I didn't realize it.
Mm-mm. So, I don't know.
The thing about this one is they really kind of like honed in on like pop culture. I think of that because of like the Snoop Dogg piece and like, Kelly Clarkson.
They're trying to cater to a younger audience, I feel.
And I don't think that's a bad choice.
No.
And I don't know. I'm not familiar with any French artist.
No, but it's been in other countries before and we weren't familiar with their people either.
That's valid.
It just makes it special because you're getting a little bit of a cultural experience that we don't know.
Well, now here's my question about this boating fiasco.
Okay.
Are we going to have somebody jump in the water?
Or fall?
Well, I even mean like, how at some games, like people run out on the field and they get tackled?
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to
Are you talking about like, not fans, but audience members? Like 100%.
Okay. Well, we're going to come back and check that prediction. I'll put that in the tracker.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. And how many people I mean, you think of how many U.S. athletes there are. So obviously there's got to be more than one boat, right? How big are these boats?
Oh, yeah. I was assuming we were talking about a yacht.
I see, and I didn't think that thing is not that big.
Yeah, I've got a lot of logistical questions now.
We're really going to be paying attention to these boats.
This is going to be something.
It really is. Did you see who is lighting the torch, the final?
No. What have I been doing? No.
I don't know. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg will be doing the final lighting of the torch.
I'm sorry. Note for the audio. I had to take a moment.
I'm going to need you to take that in.
Listen. Will this be the first time the person lighting the torch has been high as a kite? Probably.
Probably.
I mean,
well,
that is
also the first time that the torch he is holding is probably weighs more than he does.
Yeah, that's no
He's
joke.
tiny.
He's tall, but skinny drink water.
Listen, I've been watching so many clips of Snoop Dogg and the Olympic Village and doing all the things, and it is the best content you will ever get. So good.
Man. I saw something last night with Peyton doing some commentary, and it's like you can see the Eiffel Tower in the back. I just think everything is going to be so iconic picture-wise with this. Now, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Essentially, we are probably athletic enough to be in the Olympics.
Sure.
And we really love gymnastics.
We do.
And I think I would probably, as an athlete, prefer to do a floor routine as to like the bars and the vaults and all that. I don't want to be hopping and all that. But if you had to pick your song to do your floor routine to, what would you choose?
Okay. So I had to put some thought into this because if you only ever listen to this, I am white.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
Not a lot of dance ability that I have.
Yeah.
So I have to pick something that has some really easy dance moves to that could engage the audience. So maybe they're having so much fun, they're not watching me too much, but also that they know the songs and like they're just truly engaged in it. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a mashup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with the Macarena.
Okay.
And I'm going to mash it up with Baby Shark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we're going to end on Soldier Boy.
Okay.
We're encompassing a whole bunch. And I can take aspects from each of those songs. And I really think that I could, get maybe a 9.5, if not a perfect 10.
Well, I would think with that concluding song, you'd probably be up there closer to 10. But yeah, that's a good one. I mean, so I too am of the lighter persuasion of color as well. I, however, though, was anticipating that I was actually like competitive in this. So I would go with just like a song.
I figured we were going to go in opposite directions.
I mean, I'm just confident I can do anything. So, and I think I was inspired by Simone.
Okay.
Did hers to Ready for It.
Yes.
So I went with Look What You Made Me Do.
Oh.
Because I felt like I could do a lot of real dramatic, like slinging of things. Maybe a ribbon. I don't know. Like,
That's a different style of gymnastics on the.
Well, I know, but I wanted to kind of just bring it all together. Maybe not.
I like the showmanship that you want to bring. I like that.
I just feel like I could have a lot of attitude with it.
Yes, I would agree.
So that was my choice. But I mean, I'm in on the Macarena part and the Baby Shark. I mean, can't you just see the whole audience?
Yes.
With you? Oh, I mean, everybody can.
And doing Baby Shark, I don't have to worry about like throwing out my back, breaking an ankle. All of these things I took into consideration.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking with Look What You Made Me Do. I felt like I could just be real dramatic and not have to like run and all
I think so too. Yeah. Listen, when they take off and they run for a while and then they do like, I don't know, I think Simone Biles has like
breathing.
14 flips and then 7 twists all in one jump.
Yeah.
That feels like that's a lot bigger of a map than what we're thinking it is.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I've got a little would you rather. Not would you rather, but I want to get your preferences on something.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Phelps or Shawn Johnson?
And listen, I don't even know how we're supposed to pick on this because that's so apples and oranges.
I know. I went with it. I don't like these easy little low-balling
I just
things.
need you to know that I was laying in bed working on my notes for this, and the amount of times I rolled my eyes because I was like, okay, so an impossible pick, but she didn't even say like, which one is your favorite one to watch, or which one out of these two do you think is funnier?
So I just need you to know that when I come up with the questions, I'm trying to do that.
You are very successful. I think I would probably go Michael Phelps because every single time he was in the pool, you are 1000% engaged and just rooting for him to like completely obliterate the rest of them.
Yeah. I went with Michael Phelps because every time he was in the pool, I think I held my breath.
Yes.
So yeah. Let's see. Next up, I had Katie Ledecky or Simone Biles.
And my notes next to this was same as my thoughts on the first question.
Okay, so I actually went different here.
I think I always want to watch Simone because I feel like I love watching Katie Ledecky, but I'm going to have to pick Simone on this one because every single thing that she does is beyond athletic. Yeah. It's just, it defies what a human body should physically be able to do. And so she could literally do a somersault. And I'm like, how did she even, it was so good. Like, she's just incredible to watch. And again, always has people completely engaged in it.
Right. So I had a theory about this. I went with Simone as well. And I love Katie Ledecky.
Yes.
Huge fan. But my theory around Simone in comparison to Shawn Johnson, if you think about it back when Shawn Johnson was, competing and in her prime,
right?
There were a lot of big names on the U.S. team, right? Mia Nastia and other people like that. And not that like Suni Lee obviously is a big name, Jordan Childs, they're big names, but I feel like from that perspective of like when I think of the U.S. gymnastics Olympics team, when I think of Shawn, I think of her team, I think of multiple people. When I think about a team that Simone is on, she's the first one I instantly think of.
She's the face of women's gymnastics.
So as much as I love Katie Ledecky, I went with Simone.
Yeah. We've got, so obviously Katie Ledecky has also had a long career, but we've gotten Simone for a very long time at the highest level, which is impressive, especially in the sport of gymnastics, because your bodies, the typical gymnast body, can't last near as long as hers does.
I had a thought yesterday and it made me really sad. This is, I would assume, this is the last time we'll see Simone in the Olympics. And I think there's actually quite a few athletes. I'm going to tell you, I think there's a chance it could be the last one for Katie, even though she's younger. It'll be the last time we see LeBron. Like, there are some big names that this is it. I mean, and honestly, as much as we don't like Diana Taurasi, I mean, she's been a staple on the U.S. women's team for, God, feels like a decade.
Right.
I think it has been a decade.
I do think we're
gonna see a lot.
And I don't think that we're. Yeah, it'll be a fun. This will definitely be a historic event, just to get to watch some of these huge names in every sport. Huge names.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of the next sport, I'm real curious to see who you're going to go with on this one. I've got Gabrielle Douglas or Sha'Carri Richardson.
So this one, I feel like I'm going Sha'Carri. She's just more exciting to watch. Yeah, there's more personality to it. Gabby Douglas is fantastic, but Sha'Carri just, again, I'm going to watch every single thing that you're in.
Yep. I went with Sha'Carri too because I just, Gabby Douglas is phenomenal too. But again, I think she got lost in the mix too.
Yes. Yeah.
So I went with Sha'Carri. I think I'm just so blown away by these track runners. Like, it is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
I just don't know how their bodies go that fast.
It doesn't seem.
And even some of them, like you'll see in the Olympics after a race, they immediately rip off their shoes because their shoes are like burning.
Yeah.
It's so hot. They went so fast.
Like,
I've never had that issue before.
No. No. I take them off because my feet are hot, but yeah. That's about it. All right. Well, that's some Olympics talk for us. Now it's time for some questions from the audience.
Woo! These were good ones.
Thank you guys enough. And I had a lot to pick from, but I tried to give us a variety here. This first one from Deb. Listen, I don't know who you are, Deb, but let me just tell you that I thought about this far longer than any human should.
Yes, I just spent a lot of time on this one.
So Deb asked, you are trapped in the middle seat on an international flight between two pop culture figures. Who would you pick and why?
Listen,
this is good.
It's good. You could have picked so many different people.
I can't wait to see what you did.
Oh my gosh. So I was trying to go back and forth and I was like, I'm going to need a variety. If we're on an international flight and we're there all day, I need a fun hang and I need to be able to talk about multiple different things. Okay. So I went Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, okay.
And Pat McAfee. Can you imagine the two of them together?
Wow.
And then all the different topics we could discuss?
Yeah.
Listen, that would make that flight go so fast.
Man, that's a good combo.
Right.
I was a little more predictable of who I went with.
As we all figured you would be.
So listen, but let me just say.
Some people know we're picking Taylor Swift. So I'm just
great. This is one of those scenarios where you're going to tell me that I didn't have to put her, but okay. Well,
yes. So we're going to say we're on an international flight that there was 4 seats.
Okay.
Taylor's already taken one.
Okay. Well, so I went through a lot of names.
Okay.
A lot of names. And some of which I just wanted to like kind of absorb from them. I just wanted to like have a conversation. So when I tell you my list or my two people, they're going to be obvious, but the people I went through who I think are going to be some surprising ones. Okay. I also want to say that these are not endorsements for any of these people.
Okay.
Only the two that I picked am I endorsing. I actually picked Barack Obama as one, as that I was thinking about. This is not who I went with. I was considering that because I just would like to have he seems like an interesting guy. He seems really smart, very like, of the world. So I don't know. I'd be interested to talk to him. I did not pick him.
Okay.
I also picked, actually you mentioned her earlier, which I didn't even know she was rumored for this, but I picked Lady Gaga. I mean, I didn't pick again. This is just my list because I was like, I feel like she would be really interesting to talk to.
Completely. Yes.
Like I need to know like what all is going on there.
I want to know what her actual personality is like, not Lady Gaga. I want to know what your actual personality.
Yeah, whatever her real name is. I can't remember. My third one that I was considering and did not pick, Anna Wintour.
Do you think she would talk to you? I feel like she would.
Well, that was what I put in my notes. I have a little asterisk. She must talk. Because I would love to, like, you know, she did that interview one time for Vogue where they were on the computer, like on a Zoom thing, she and Taylor, and she was very personable with her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would like, but she has to talk. That's in my notes, but I would like to talk to her. Now, I went with Blake and Taylor because
obviously.
But those are my other choices. But that was a really good question, and I am happy to take that flight whenever needed. So,
yes.
From Haley, we kind of hinted to this question earlier. It's a bit speculation, but what would a tour from Taylor look like following the Eras tour? I don't believe she'll be done touring, but curious how you follow that act. So if you don't know, there have been rumors like, oh, she's never going to tour again. Well, I think she's tried to shut that down pretty much every place she's been because she always says, we can't wait to come back here. So again, y'all are stupid. But it is a very valid question.
It is.
And I don't have an answer really. I mean, I have some thoughts, but what about you?
I mean, here's the thing. You're never going to be able to follow up the Eras tour with something as big as the Eras tour because I don't think that she's ever going to try and get the same kind of result of doing another tour with all these different albums. I think what we're going to see is her doing tours like Reputation with whatever her new albums are. I'm hoping that she's currently writing songs right now, which I'm sure she is.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be our happy, pop, bubbly, excited stuff. So the complete opposite of what TTPD was. And I do think that she would be able to tour with that. And again, it's going to sell out. It's going to be massive.
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of shows, but it's not going to be to the level of what the Eras Tour was.
No, and I think, I mean, if Taylor's good at anything, even if you don't like her music, she is a very smart businesswoman, and she is like a marketing like
Genius.
czar. Like, I mean, there's nothing. I don't think there's anybody that tops her. No. And so I have to think she's got to go into that situation saying to herself, like, look, we're never going to top the Eras Tour, so let's don't even try.
Right.
I wonder, does she say, let's go complete opposite? You know?
Possibly.
And so I don't know. And I also think that she has said before in interviews, and I think it's even in some of her songs, this theory of like the fame and the popularity gets so big and then she feels lost in it. So I kind of wonder, and I don't even know how this would work. I don't know if it would work. Could she go complete opposite? Not like small venues. I'm not saying that, but like a more intimate type of thing. I don't know. Also from a security perspective, I just don't even know, unfortunately for her, if it's even humanly possible anymore. Right. I also think of it sort of like the way the calendar system works. You know, we have BC and AD, before Christ and after death. Are we going to have that with the Eras Tour? Like, this is how it was before the Eras Tour, and here's how it is now. So it's like two separate entities. I think I am very curious, and I sent it to you this week. Taylor Nation. First of all, I don't know who's running Taylor Nation now, but it's a whole new vibe. Yep. But they mentioned something this week about like if there were to be other songs from TTPD on the Eras Tour, what would you want to see? And I have noticed quite a few times recently they've asked questions and then something has transpired in the show that related to it. And so I am not of the thought that she is going to change the set list again. I think it will end with what it is today. But it made me wonder for whatever's next. Because I would assume it would probably be some TTPD and then whatever TS12 is. And then the surprise songs would be the old albums. And so this would be the like AD time period, like after the death of the Eras Tour.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it's a solid question. And I don't know, because I just, again, when your fame gets to this level, what do you do? Do you try not to even compete with what you've done before? And two, if her life changes, if she does get married, if she does have kids, if whatever, if she gets more into her writing, she's making movies, what do you want it to be?
That's true.
So we'll see. Great question. From Blake, man, what would have done if this was from Blake Lively?
I did think that when I saw the name Blake.
Yeah. No, I wish. No, but it's a guy. If it's not the Chiefs, who do you see going to the Super Bowl from the AFC, and who will they play from the NFC? But it will be the Chiefs. I do appreciate the last part.
I do appreciate the clarity on that.
Yes.
This one I really had to look. The AFC, I struggled to pick somebody.
It's kind of weaker.
I went the Bills. Listen, do I honestly believe that? Absolutely not. But I am still riding hard that I think this is going to be one of Josh Allen's best seasons yet.
Okay.
So we shall see. And then NFC, I went the Lions.
Yep.
Listen, I don't know if you saw, there was a clip. It might have been on TikTok. I might have sent it to you. But the Lions head coach, Dan Campbell, was out there doing workouts and practices with the players.
He looks like he could play a game today.
He looks like he could suit up and be ready.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah. So who are you going to pick?
So I am torn. I was torn between three teams.
Okay.
I was from the AFC. I was torn between the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Texans. And here's what I'll say. Speaking of, going back to a note on the training camp stuff, I don't know if you saw, but apparently things are already incredibly heated with Stephon Diggs and the Texans training camp.
Oh, shocking. We couldn't have seen that coming.
A fight broke out yesterday because of him. Surprising.
Solid.
But I don't know. I just really loved the Texans last year. I really loved D'Amico Ryan. I love CJ Stroud. I don't care for Stephon, but I like Tank and, Nico and some of those guys, and they've got big weapons on defense. I don't know. I could maybe see it. I agree. I think Josh Allen, I think he realizes this is kind of like you got to prove it now. And so also it will prove to us if it really was Stephon Diggs was the poison. And I truly believe he was. So we'll see.
Absolutely. He's been a problem everywhere he's gone. So
And then with the Dolphins, I don't know. I mean, they picked up a lot of big names. They obviously got Jody Fortson from the Chiefs. They got OBJ. They already had Jalen Waddle. They already had Tyreek.
Right.
And you have Tua, and if he can stay healthy, I mean, that's a big deal. So, and I love Mike McDaniel. So I don't know, but I just feel like my problem with the reason I didn't go with the Dolphins and the Bills is they can't ever finish. They can't ever finish the job. So I went with the Texans, who obviously haven't finished it yet either, but they don't have this like extensive track record of not proving it, you know?
Right.
So, but I'm with Blake. It's going to be the Chiefs. So it's just hearsay. All right. This last question was kind of tough from Brian. Top 10 favorite Olympians of all time.
Listen, you should really go back in the Rolodex up here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I went back and picked some older people because
I did too.
Again, kind of like Hollywood, like the current crew, there's only a handful that I would even be like, maybe.
Yeah. No, so I went Carrie Strug, Dominique Michaud, like the original one.
Yeah. Okay.
Dominique Dawes, Sean Johnson East, Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, obviously. Usain Bolt. He was always so fun to watch.
God. Yeah. I forgot about him.
I did him. Mia Hamm, I remember, and we were never a big soccer team, but I always remember watching her play. Katie Ledecky obviously made the list, and Jackie Joyner-Kersee. She was enjoyable in her prime to watch run.
Yeah.
I think she still holds quite a few tackling records.
That is a really good one. So speaking of her and kind of that era, I went with FloJo, Florence Griffith Joyner.
Oh, yeah.
That was a real throwback. Also, I wasn't sure if we were supposed to stay in just the Summer Olympics.
No, you do any.
Because I picked Apollo Ono.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really love him. Okay. And then I went Abby Wambach and Alex Morgan. I know we're all shocked by that.
It's almost like her picking Taylor Swift.
Like Lively, yep. Then I went Sean Johnson, Simone Biles, Michael Phelps, Katie Ledecky, Dana Torres. Do you remember her, the swimmer?
Oh, man. I forgot about her. Yeah.
And then my last one, do you remember Allison Felix, the track runner?
Yes.
I went with her.
Yep.
I had some honorable mentions. I almost picked Ryan Lochte because I really loved him.
Yeah.
And then this one is super old, but I almost went with Carl Lewis, the track runner.
That is really.
I know. I don't want to talk about how old I am. So, but yeah,
those were good.
Those were great questions. So y'all keep sending them. We will have our whole August episode. All right. Are you ready to do the Y Factor?
Let's do the Y Factor.
All right. What are you not loving?
So, not loving this week, conspiracy theorists.
Oh,
I feel like they're running
attack or like.
Listen, and I feel like voting years always bring out the crazy ones.
Yeah.
And it's just, here's the thing. Do I think the government's batting 1,000 at being honest with us? No. I don't bat 1,000 at being honest with my own children. So I'm not trusting that the government is doing the same.
No. We can't be trusted either, just like they can't.
Right. But here's my thought, and it's what I've always said. I can't change any of that. I can't make anything not crazy. I can't feed into these conspiracy theories. I can go vote, and that's good. So all these people that are making up all these crazy things about president, former president, can we just stop? It's just, listen, the world is already burning. Let's not add to it.
Can we just calm down? I mean,
Thank you.
That's a good one. So mine is a little bit similar to that, actually. Mine is the constant demand on celebrities to make political statements and endorsements.
Yes.
Okay.
I was literally thinking about that this morning.
Well, and I believe that this really got ushered in during the Obama era when he first ran.
Yes.
And we're not going to get political. We could, obviously, because that's my background. But that was like the first time, at least in our age, that, like, you know, that's when like every rapper in America was rapping about Obama, you know?
Right.
And then, of course, it didn't help that Donald Trump ran for president and he was like actually a celebrity too. So kind of just expanded the issue. I mean, I know like Reagan was an actor too, but you know what I mean? So, but what I'm really annoyed with is like and it's not just the presidential race, although obviously in the past few days that has come to a fever pitch itself. And obviously a ton of celebrities are getting involved. And I'm not against them using their voices when they want to. Like, I think that's fantastic. If you have a platform, I think that's great. What I don't like is all the people who are telling you that you're a bad person if you don't, or demanding that you do. And it's like, I think there's just so much that goes into that the common person doesn't consider. I mean, if you watch Miss Americana, you know, one of the reasons that Taylor's dad and management really did not want her to make statements during that election cycle were because it's a security risk.
Right.
So now when you're trying to demand of her to make statements on, you know, the Palestinian issue and Hamas or this presidential election, like, I mean, our girl's just trying to go to her show with her huge boyfriend and she's got death threats. Like, I mean, we don't have a right to demand that of her. And I think too, with some of these people, and like, especially with her, she has made statements when she wanted to, and she felt like she needed to. So if she hasn't yet, there's a reason. So like, who are we to say you need to make a political statement? And I just, it bothers me.
Yeah. And also I feel like so many people look to these celebrities and be like, okay, well, whoever so-and-so is going to vote for, then that's who I should also vote for. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's so risky. And
that was my other part. And I've said this a lot on my old Tweets and Tonics show. And I say this a lot in life. Like, I do not care if we differ in what we believe or think, as long as you can tell me why.
Right.
Here we are at Y Space. Maybe I should have known a long time ago that's what my show would turn into. But like, as long as you can tell me why you think something and you have like a real reason and not just like, well, the sky turned to the left. And so I thought, well, here, I'll do it. I'm totally fine with that. And I have really great friends that we do not, I mean, some of my best friends in the entire world, we don't see eye to eye on issues, but we both know why. And we can have that respectful discourse. But these people that need a celebrity to come online and say, go vote for this person, like, get your own brain. Like, if you, and the other thing that I think that bothers me, a lot of the people I've seen this week saying, you know, like Taylor needs to come out and support Kamala Harris or whatever, or she needs to make a statement about Hamas. A lot of those people, I look at their accounts and I see them already posting their support in a certain, you know, for like Kamala, for instance. So why do you care if Taylor does? You've already made it known. You're already on her side. So like, why do you care?
Yeah.
Like, you just want to be like in with her? Do you think that's going to get you tickets to the Eras tour? Like,
yeah,
it does. However, I can do whatever I need to.
I'm not above being bought. I think there was, and I can't remember what political or whatever situation was happening, but I want to say it was Patrick Mahomes was being asked a political type question, like which way he leaned on a subject. Mm-hmm. And his response, I thought, if that is the response every celebrity or athlete could give, it was perfect. Mm-hmm. And it was, I absolutely know what I believe and who I feel supports my beliefs. I'm not going to stand up here and use my platform to tell you you should go that way, but I am going to use my platform to tell you you need to get out and do your own research and stop looking to us for those answers. And I was like, that is the absolute response that they should be giving.
Yeah. And again, the ones that choose to, more power to you. Use your platform. Yeah. You did the work to earn your platform.
Right.
So you do what you want to do with it. I don't care if we agree or disagree.
Right.
I didn't do the work to become Beyonce. So if Beyonce wants to license her song to Kamala, go on, girl. Like, it's yours. Like, you've done the work, and that's your choice.
Yeah.
Like,
but people do need to chill out about demanding this stuff.
Yeah. What are you liking right now?
All right. So I am loving all things Olympic content. Listen, if you are on TikTok, you need to make sure that your algorithm is man. Listen, I am here for every tour of every bedroom in the Olympic Village. Are they all the same? Absolutely. Have I seen that cardboard bed 70 bajillion times? Absolutely. But I'm still watching all of it.
Oh, yeah.
I watched them walking into the cafeteria as if I'm about to have to order. I am so intent on what is at every single bar. I'm watching all the clothes try-ons, all the hauls. It's so fun. Yeah. There's one team or a couple of people, and I can't remember if they're from Sweden. I'm not sure what country they're from, but in the Olympic Village, you trade pins, like pins that you can put on your lane. Yeah. So apparently it's a big deal. And so like they challenge each other to like you have to find one from every country, or you have to find certain pins that like that country only has one athlete there. So trying to find them is real difficult. And apparently Miss Simone Biles has her own custom pins that she brought. So also finding her and trying to trade with her. It's just so fun to watch them be like little kids out there.
Is it now on my bucket list to get pins from athletes at the Olympics?
I mean,
would they give them to me, a commoner?
Probably not. I think they only do it in the Olympic Village, but that means we need to figure out a way to get in the Olympic Village.
Ping pong. I mean, we're in.
We're in. Or we could coach. Could we coach flag football next year? Or the next time?
Talk about a dream job. Talk about a dream job.
I'm here. You tell me. Listen, I'll iron the flags so that they're ready to.
I mean, I don't know how to iron, but I'll do it.
You don't even own one, do you?
Nope, sure don't.
Okay. All right, Mandy, what do you want?
All right, I've got 3, but I'll make them really quick because I could never throw it down. So last week for movie night at our house, we watched 2 movies. First, I mentioned earlier, If, Ryan Reynolds. Fan-freaking-tastic. Please watch it. It is so good. Even if you don't have kids, I think it's amazing.
Nice.
This one is totally random, and I had never heard of it before, but Judd found it. It's called Home Team. Have you heard of this?
I feel like I've heard it, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Well, it's got Taylor Lautner, so I was worried.
Fair.
And it's got Kevin James, and it's actually loosely based on Sean Payton when he was suspended from his the whole Bounty Gate, whatever. And again, I don't know if all these details were really accurate to Sean's life. In the beginning, it says this movie's based on true facts or whatever. He goes to Argyle, Texas, and coaches his son's junior high football team. And Kevin James plays Sean Payton. It's really actually good. I mean, listen, guys, it's not going to win an award, but it's actually really good movie. It's really cute. I liked it. And then my third one is I found a show a couple of weeks ago, and I really started following these 2 women, shouldn't say girls, I guess, on Twitter this past week because of Chiefs training camp. And I've told you about them because I would love to have them come on the show. They're called the Kingdom Queens Show, and it's 2 girls from here in Kansas City, Jody Newsom and Lexi Osborne. They're really good follows, especially if you're interested in anything Chiefs, or especially training camps. They've been there every day. They do a YouTube show that they record live and air, it goes live, and they air it at the same time on Tuesday nights at 7. It's all things Chiefs. Jody is actually into a lot of different sports. She talks a lot about baseball too, and the Dallas Wings WNBA team. So it's really interesting. And Lexi is also, but she's more heavily just Chiefs, but it's really good. So they talk a lot about obviously anything Chiefs news. They had a lot of really good perspectives from training camp. So it's a really good show. And we'd love to have them on because that would be fun. And that's it for me.
Okay. Those were good ones.
All right. Well, thank you guys for following along. If you're still here all these hours later, we apologize. We're trying to figure it out, people. But you're obviously still listening. Some of you are, so that's great. Follow us on the socials and keep sending your questions. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.